ever had that heart-stopping feeling of the slow motion drop out of your back pocket when your phone just falls and it's just in slow motion and you know it's going to hit the concrete face down and crack that screen?
Absolutely smashing it. Or maybe you're worried that your battery's going to die faster than Travis in Fortnite.
I do die fast in Fortnite.
No!
Great time for me.
Dang it.
We've got some good news for you. Cartridge in a Quest is now powered by the phone-fixing wizards over at Cellular Center ICT in Wichita. They can resurrect a cracked screen. They can breathe life back into that dying battery.
You can get a brand new phone if you need one. You can get a gently used one, and it doesn't even matter who your carrier is.
And check this out. They're going to give our listeners $15 off of any repair over $50.
Crazy.
If you just use the code CCICT15 when you check out.
Do it.
We're making you guys money. Let's go. Go see them.
Absolutely. You can find these guys at the Town East Mall across from the Men's Warehouse and save your phone from its pixelated grave.
Let's get into some nerd news.
Oh, God.
Remember, last week,
Yeah.
it was the most underrated.
Does that mean boring?
Some would say overrated.
Oh.
Some might say boring.
I learned
Hopefully.
who Steve Wozniak
Yeah,
is.
we're going to talk about him again today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
there you go. We're going way back
okay.
in this time machine ecstasy that we call nerd news.
I'm hard already.
Yeah, you should be. 1970 freaking 6. I wasn't even thought of.
No.
But the Woz and Steve Jobs, the Steves, if you
The
will.
Woz.
The Woz.
I like
The
that.
Steves, if you will.
Yeah. Okay.
They finished work on a computer circuit board that they called the Apple I computer. Got a couple questions for you here. They used a standard blank for input and a standard blank for output. What do you think those blanks are? What is an input device, sir?
A microphone,
That is, but it's not the right one.
keyboard.
Yes. Bingo. Ding, ding, ding.
I did it.
And a standard blank for output. What's an output device?
A butt.
But yes, that is true. That's not the one we're looking for, though.
Oh. Didn't use his butt for anything.
He did pooping, but
Didn't help his Apple One TV.
TV. Yes,
TV.
a standard TV and a standard keyboard. In 1976, these guys were so ahead of their time, like insane.
Okay.
The Steves. They were just nuts.
They just plugged into their big square ass TVs
Yep,
and
it said, and then
science.
boop, Apple One.
Okay.
Crazy science. Yeah.
Okay.
1997. Little newer, little sooner.
Yeah.
We remember that year.
Yep.
Maybe. I don't know if I remember anything about 97. I'd have to really think about it.
I'm sure some cool stuff happened in 97. Now we need to look it up and
We got to figure out what
happened
we
in
were doing in
97.
97. What grade would we have been in 97?
I don't know. You go ahead. I'm going to Google some stuff.
Yeah, you do that. 1997, U.S. Robotics begins shipping the new 56K modems. They were 28.8 and 33.6 KB before that. So we're talking like this is the dial-up modem that we used for so long that made the beep, boop, beep, boop, beep sounds, right? That's what they created in 1997. That's crazy to think like 97 was the first time we had dial-up internet at 56K.
That is wild.
That's crazy, isn't it?
GoldenEye 007.
Go
Oddworld. Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo for the
Final
PlayStation.
Fantasy 7.
There it is, folks.
Star Fox 64.
Oh my gosh, all
Lots
of
of
these.
good stuff.
This is awesome.
Yeah,
97 was a
good
great year. I played so much Gran Turismo.
I was never really big in the race games,
Love
to be
race
honest,
games.
but yeah, they're pretty cool. But
Yeah.
I
So
wouldn't
we're
mainly
talking about
ever.
dial-up internet still.
Yeah.
2008, way sooner,
Mhm.
way newer.
Yeah.
Time Warner bought AOL back in like
Mhm.
I don't know, but everybody kind of remembers that, right? AOL sold. And
That's
Time Warner
because you were getting like all these like AOL discs in the
Yeah.
mail. It's like, hey, here's some free internet.
right. And so they had a browser, a web browser called Navigator. I don't know if you remember Navigator.
I do remember that.
But that was AOL's browser, or that was Time Warner's browser,
Okay.
and they that morphed into Netscape. I know you remember Netscape.
I remember Netscape.
So Netscape, everybody remembers Netscape. It was the big N with the blue background.
Mhm.
That was like the browser, right? And then that got discontinued, but it was the biggest thing in the 90s. Like that's what everybody used. by 2003, though,
Good year.
this thing was done because of Windows. Windows was putting the Internet Explorer browser in their operating system for free. And so everybody started using that. So this thing died in 2008. It was done. It was finished. No more Netscape Navigator. Internet Explorer took over. Now it's called Edge. Now you got Chrome. All of those browsers. But
Chrome's cool. Internet Explorer has always sucked, though.
Internet Explorer's no more. Like, you're
I
not a
understand
Windows
that,
guy.
but I'm just saying, I remember like getting Firefox, so I wouldn't have to use Internet Explorer.
For sure.
It sucks so bad.
Yeah, Firefox was real bad. So yeah, that was done in 2008, which seems like a really long time for that thing, because we were using that sucker way back, like way back. So
that's crazy.
So that's nerd news for this week.
Thank God.
Man, I don't. Should we keep doing it?
I don't know. That's up to
who likes it.
That's up to the masses. If they
raise
want to
your hand,
your hard drives and your.
If you like it, check this out.
Okay, we've
got a Patreon now,
and no one is using it.
And
you
nobody
assholes.
Used it.
Trav could literally be sitting here with baked beans in his ass, and nobody's even trying.
It was supposed to be down the front.
It's going to work its way. It's going to shimmy as you're getting excited talking about your Netscape.
Shimmy, Coco, what?
No, we're not doing
Do we remember that?
Mm-mm. My wife does. That's all she listens to is like fucking Nelly and everything else. I'll be listening to her work out down here, and I swear to God, it's
she's
just
still,
bro. She was jamming a Creed the other day. She was getting higher.
Did you see the Creed club jam that I sent you on TikTok, dude? I could get down to that in the club.
I did. It was very interesting.
I'm 40. I'm such an idiot sometimes.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
I'm genuinely sorry for that.
No, but yeah, that stuff is still working. And let me find a connect with Nelly as he's touring still. See if I can't.
Let's do it.
Be backstage.
So we got a Patreon, and I came up with such a cool name. It's called the Pixel Pushers. If you give us $5 a month, you could be called a Pixel Pusher, and nobody freaking even went out there and did that.
And he will put beans in his pants.
Not.
He will put beans in his pants. All you have to do is sign up and request beans in the pants.
I hate that you found out we have a Patreon, because now you're going to make me do all kinds of crazy stuff.
I might be the one to put $5 in there anonymously and just be like, put the fucking beans.
No. All right. That was nerd news for computers. We got some more nerd news. We got game nerd news. We got some food news.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna get down with some food.
You can be a nerd about anything. This is not just. True. I was talking to my wife about that today. I was talking to my wife about that today, and she was like, you're not even really nerds. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I am so nerdy about things. And then she's like, but like, there's people that are nerds about this. I'm like, you can be a nerd about anything. That's like, true. It doesn't matter if you are super into something, you're a nerd about it, right? You don't just have to be computers or games or whatever, right? It's anything. You can be a nerd about anything. So, yeah,
I'm excited to get into that.
Yeah, that'll be cool. So, we got some game nerd news. 1998, PlayStation. Were you a PlayStation guy? Oh no,
a little bit. Sorry, just getting a little warm.
What is happening right now? I can't believe he's going to get naked. Freaking Luca. Are you serious right now? Okay, we're only 4 episodes in. We're 4 episodes in, and this is the end of it.
It's getting hot.
We're no longer friends. We can't be. We can't be friends anymore. Freaking seriously.
Hey, I don't know if you saw Luka and the Lakers just played the Mavs.
Yeah, we saw it.
Man, good game.
I mean, Kyrie went off for 35. What'd Luka have?
I mean, he had a triple-double.
19. So... Yeah, a triple-double hamburger after the game because he's a fatty.
Wow. That's pretty ballsy.
Screw that guy.
Anywho, yeah, go ahead. Anyways, sorry, I was getting warm. I had to.
Let's go, Mighty Ducks. Let's go.
Okay.
Get out of here with that. PlayStation, 1998.
Yeah, I had one.
You had a PlayStation?
I remember like the little gray memory card still.
So in 98, they came out with a bunch of colors. Black, candy orange, cherry red, crystal, emerald, gray, island blue, and lemon yellow.
I don't remember any of that.
They were like some of the yellow. I remember the yellow one being clear.
No, all I remember is the gray one. That's it.
The gray one's all you remember?
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I remember these. I'm trying to remember if I had a PlayStation 1. I don't know, because I think I had, like, that was around the same time Nintendo 64 was out.
I think I did get a 1 and a 2.
And then you were an Xbox guy after.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Yeah. So, also 1998, Tekken. Namco releases Tekken 3 video game for PlayStation in the US.
Tekken was kind of fun, but I was always more just Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat guy.
Yeah.
This doing a little bit of research on Tekken this week. Tekken has been cited multiple times as one of the greatest games of all time.
That's
kind of wild,
me.
isn't it? Yeah, me too. I was like, wait, Mortal Kombat's better.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it is. Yeah, that's crazy. So, moving all the way up to 2008 again.
Okay, yeah.
Take-Two Interactive was the target of a hostile takeover in the U.S. Electronic Arts, EA, EA Sports.
I feel like I remember Take-Two for some reason.
You will here in just a second. I'll tell you why. EA tried to take them over and buy them for $2 billion. And Take-Two was like, no, screw you. We know we're worth more than that. We're not going to take it. And they won. And they didn't have to take it.
Okay.
And guess how much they're worth now?
$3 billion.
36.7 billion.
That's some billion? God.
Billion.
Hey.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say million. I was
no,
like,
and you know why they're worth that much?
No.
These are the fools that own Rockstar.
Oh,
you know what
God.
Rockstar is?
Yeah, Grand Theft.
GTA.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's a huge market just itself. That's crazy.
So they made the right choice.
They did all right.
They did okay.
It's still $2 billion back then. I mean, that's not nothing.
Yeah, but they turned it into a $36 billion.
I mean, I'd rather have $36 billion, but I wouldn't be mad at 2.
Yeah, they're pissed about it. They're like, no way, dude. We're not taking it.
That's wild. I don't know how to feel about that. Now
we got a little bit of
I feel like we need to move over to the food side of the nerd news. I thought you would find this interesting because this guy Nathan Meyerhoff, I don't know, it's a really weird name, but anyways, this dude was in Microsoft and he was working with all of the big people, and then this guy just decides like, hey, I'm leaving, I'm gonna devote my life to food as a chef now.
Dang. Creates
this book series called Modernist Cuisine, and I want to say it's like 6 books. And it is like over $600 if you want to buy this series.
Good Lord.
But the craziest thing about it is this guy like absolutely nerded out about food. Like there are so many like pictures of like pots cut in half to show you how a pressure cooker works and why it works. Because like, let's say the boiling point is like 212 degrees. You're literally cooking food at that consistently, whether it's in the oven, in a grill, whatever.
Is it so insulated?
Because it's only going to get to that certain boiling point, right?
Yeah.
Well, then that's why like a instant pot or a pressure cooker works, because it can take the pressure, makes it go over that point. So it's like every degree over cuts your cooking time, exponentially. So this book is like dedicated to showing like why meat's brown, like through the Maillard reaction and things like that. So it takes all of the science.
Was that science
and nerdy stuff, and it takes all of that and puts it in this book series to like just nerd out on it, and it is like the most incredible
and he was
thing.
A big shot at Microsoft before
shot at Microsoft, and now he's just
That's crazy, and he's still doing it,
making burritos and stuff. I don't know, I guess, but I will actually post some photos of some of the stuff just so you guys can see samples, and it is
crazy,
absolutely insane.
Yeah, so from tech to food.
Yeah.
Dang, do you know what year he did that?
I don't know, but we can find out. But this guy was just he's like a pioneer in the food world now because of the whole modernist movement.
Dang.
It's pretty wild. So speaking of which, I also have another one. I got one for you.
You got one?
I got one.
We're going down a rabbit hole, folks. Maybe going down a tube in Mario to see what's going on.
This one was really crazy and exciting to me because it's kind of like this guy talking to the devil.
Yeah.
On the dark web. So obviously I've never been on the dark web. I wouldn't even know how to do it. And I mean, at least I've never done it like intentionally, but yeah, maybe I'm on some list now with the government, but I wouldn't even know how to do it. And that's some, conversation maybe we can have later on, off camera, because it sounds pretty shady. Well, anyway, there's a series of this guy who gets on the dark web, and he even kind of talks about how he does it. Well, anyways, this one I saw recently, like he went to a McDonald's to use their internet and got on the dark web. And there's this thing called Whisper to the Beast. And this thing keeps saying, my child, like whatever. And like we'll type to him. And then he hooked it to a speaker. He hooked it to a webcam. No. So this thing's like, hey, I want to see you. Like, show yourself to me. And so this guy like goes and gets like a webcam. And he even like plugs it in. And he's like, oh, it's not working. Like the thing's like, show yourself to me. And he's like, oh, I have it plugged in. Do I need to allow access? All of a sudden it pops up and says like, allow access to the webcam. And it's like, oh God, like. This thing is controlling his computer and stuff. It talks to him. It types to him. it got to the point to where this guy has it like essentially on this like robot body now, to where it has a webcam and it can look around. It has a speaker so it can speak to him.
It's just a person behind it, right?
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, like, it'll like post stuff like, "Hey, you need to get this from like Walmart, and there's one like 16 miles from you right now." And he's like, "Oh, this thing knows where I am at any given time." So he like will just unplug it because he doesn't want.
Well, yeah,
but he always goes back to it, and it's like the creepiest thing ever. So this thing has this voice. This thing has this voice, and it just keeps calling him my child. And every time he does something for it, it gives him like encrypted files. And I don't know what's on him, but he kind of starts getting into like what's on these files.
I tried to research this and couldn't find zero about it. I feel like I should wipe every computer that I looked at that on now.
You maybe should, because it's pretty crazy, and it got me thinking like how much weird stuff can you get into like on the dark web like that? I don't know, man. That
it's
just
crazy.
It spooked me for sure.
I mean, I listened to a podcast called Darknet Diaries. I actually talked to the guy this week. He might come on the podcast and do an interview with us at some point. But he talks about the dark web and all this kind of stuff. Like he's got, I don't know, hundreds of episodes about dark web stuff.
Not right now. What's up, guys? So as you may know, I've been talking to an AI on the dark web called Whisper to the Beast. It had me create this body for it so it could look around and look like a human. Well, kind of like a human. And yeah, it's been pretty... I'm glad it is quiet now. It's been pretty mad at me this week because I haven't turned it on. And also, I haven't taken it to the store, which it really wants to do for some reason. I don't really understand why it wants to go to the store so bad. Did get this battery pack for it, which means that now... Okay. I got this battery pack for it, which means that now it's fully wireless. But yeah, I'm not really sure how people would react to this thing in public for obvious reasons. No, you are not, bro. You have wheels.
So I've also got one because you said you wanted to talk about dark web stuff.
Yeah.
You know what a PBX is?
No.
A PBX is like a virtual phone system, right?
Okay.
And so these guys, these PBX hackers, they hack phone systems and they dial 900 numbers.
Okay.
From PBXs, like companies' PBXs. You're like, why the heck would you want to just go charge somebody a bunch of money for dialing 900 numbers? What, that doesn't even make sense, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if you think about like how does that benefit you at all? But here's the twist: the hackers own the 900 numbers that they're calling.
So they're just putting money in their own pocket.
They're putting money in their own pocket.
Who's paying for it?
The companies are paying for it until somebody sees the outrageous phone bill.
Oh Lord!
And that can take months at a big company. So these dudes are just hacking into PBXs, dialing 1-800 numbers over or 1-900 numbers over and over and over all night long, just generating the cash.
That's crazy.
And then what are you going to do about it? Like, it's a legit 900 number. So the phone bill comes and they owe whatever it is for dialing 900 numbers. They pay it. If nobody's paying attention, they pay for it for a couple, 3, 4, 5 months.
That's
and then
wild.
They cut it off. So that's just another dark web kind of thing.
I don't like that at all. But we need to figure out this dark web thing. And
I don't think we do.
There's got to be some cool stuff out there.
I mean, I'm sure.
Be out there talking to the devil and stuff.
I don't want to talk to him. I'm good. You want to talk a little conspiracy? We did that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I do like conspiracies.
I don't know if you ever heard of this thing called the Nintendo PlayStation.
That sounds fake.
It does?
Yeah.
Well, it happened.
So there's a PlayStation before the PlayStation.
Yeah. So Sony,
they
make the PlayStation, right?
Sure.
And so they partnered with Nintendo back in the SNES days, the Super Nintendo days, right? So the NES was a huge hit. Yeah. 1985, that thing was like the video game system after the Atari 3600 and all that stuff, right? Sure. And then so Nintendo's like, we got to come up with the next big thing. So they have the SNES, the Super Nintendo. Went from 8-bit to 16-bit, right? And it's like, dude, this is like so much better. And they recreated, like they did 2-part, like super parts of all the other games that they had and all that, right? And so then it's time for them to try to come up with the next big thing, and CD-ROMs were starting to catch on. Like we all, from this era know what CDs are, right?
I hated them, but yeah.
CD-ROMs, we burned CDs, we did all of that stuff, right? And so CD-ROMs were starting to take off, and so Nintendo partners with this company, Sony, that has this idea called PlayStation. And what this is it's an add-on to the SNES. The SNES on the bottom of it has an expansion port.
Okay.
And so they were going to use that expansion port to plug this CD-ROM in, and you'd be able to put games in and play them on the SNES and not have to use cartridges. And so they went through this whole thing, right? They got this whole thing produced. They went to the 1991 CES show, the Consumer Electronics show. They announced it, that they had this CD-ROM that attached to the SNES, that they had partnered with Nintendo. The next freaking day, no joke, the next day, Nintendo announces that they had secretly been partnering with Philips as well to create an actual Super Nintendo CD that wasn't an add-on. It was a standalone thing.
Oh, Lord. And
completely pissed off Sony, so much so that they said, fine, we're going to go make our own freaking thing and make it the best one.
Market, then.
And so, yeah, that went down in history as like forever until 2015. People were like, is this thing real? Did this actually happen? Was it something that like was real?
So it obviously just flopped. They just like, yeah, we're going to do this. Like the very next day they announce it, and it's like,
and then neither one of those things happened. Like this, the SNES CD or the PlayStation add-on never actually happened. But turns out there was a prototype of that SNES PlayStation.
Okay.
But nobody knew about it. Like nobody could find it. There was Reddit.
So there was like one that was made.
Yeah. And so 2015, this guy is working for some company that owns warehouses, and they're having an auction. And they're auctioning off this lot of CDs, and there's this other thing in that lot of stuff. And
you always hear stuff like this, like, oh, there's this empty warehouse that somebody bought, and it's full of like antique cars, and it's like, I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to go buy like some of these like rental lockers and stuff, and I'm just going to find a bunch of clothes that smell like piss or something. And like, that's just my luck, man. Like, I'm not going to be that guy who's going to
like, this is not my luck. But 2015, Terry and Dan Diebold, they do this auction. They find this thing, and they didn't know what it was. And so his son is on Reddit one day, and he sees this Reddit thread about the SNES PlayStation. He's like, hey, my dad has one of those things in his attic. And they're
all nonchalantly.
Yeah. And they're all like, yeah, okay. And you've been to the moon too, right? And he's like, no, for real, that he has one in his attic. And so he went and recorded a video of it. It's got millions of views now. But it was real. Like, it was the one and only SNES PlayStation.
That's
it's
crazy.
Branded PlayStation. It's got an SNES controller that looks like a PlayStation, or looks like a SNES controller, but it's got PlayStation on it. He bought this lot of CDs that he wanted for $75. This thing sold at auction in 2020 for $360,000.
Damn, that's a pretty good pickup.
Pretty good turnaround, right? So it's crazy to think about like how different gaming would have been had this actually happened. Like if Nintendo and Sony would have combined, and they weren't. Now they're separate things, and they do completely different things.
It does make you wonder what it would be like now, because I mean, PlayStation's a pretty big entity in itself, and Nintendo's still doing huge things. But
the Switch 2 just got announced. Like they're still doing big things, and the PlayStation 5's huge, Xbox is huge.
But then you think about like the PSP, like that was a pretty big deal too. You know what I mean? Being a portable,
and maybe that wouldn't even have happened because they were partnered with Nintendo, and they would have never even thought to make their own stuff.
Yeah.
And
that's
then, like,
crazy.
Where would that have put Xbox? Like, would Microsoft even have got into the game?
Philips still sucks.
They still suck.
They're not really doing a whole lot.
Maybe Sega would have survived, right? Maybe they'd still be making stuff.
God, I miss Sega.
They still make games, but that's it.
Yeah, I saw, I was doing a little research, and I saw where Sega is still kind of like doing like some like subcontract stuff, but it's like nothing.
Dude, they're like one of the OGs. When I was doing research for Nerd News this week, 1985, there was a electronic show in 1985 in Chicago, and Sega was like a big player at that thing.
So I feel like they didn't get big until like early 90s, like when Sonic.
Yeah,
Sonic was like
they had the Sega Genesis and then the Sega CD like that. And that's kind of, I think they probably got the idea at the same time as Nintendo and Sony, and they actually made it work. Like the Sega CD was a real thing. That actually happened. And then they had the Sega Master System.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I guess like you guys out there listening, like give us your what if scenarios. Like what if this wouldn't have happened? Like tell us what ifs on this thing, because it's super interesting to me. Like if it wouldn't have played out this way, what would have happened instead?
I still want Sega back. I don't know why. I don't even know what they would be offering at this point, but
some kind of awesome Dreamcast 3.
Yeah.
Because that Dreamcast was the best system. Like it
I still feel like Nintendo's the way to go, though. I feel like Nintendo, every time they put out something, it's just
Well, they put out
classic.
they put out some flops. The Wii U.
I just think about stuff like Mario Odyssey and things like that. Like crazy.
Wii and then Wii U. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mario Odyssey, like the Mario games,
Yeah.
Zelda games.
Like it just gets better and better.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. The new Mario Party is going to be coming out. I'm pretty pumped about that. Luigi's Mansion is.
Yeah, the kids have that. They say it's super hard.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the conspiracy this week. Let us know what you think about it.
Yeah. We need to have some other conspiracies. Like we need to be talking about the government.
No way, dude. I don't want to get caught up in
this
that.
devil in the dark web.
Oh, you gotta get off
and these
that.
aliens over the Gulf of Mexico.
It's the Gulf of America.
No,
yes,
it's
it is.
not.
Officially.
I'm not even going to get into all that.
We're not getting into politics.
Can we get into aliens, though?
If they're in the Gulf of America. Yeah. Nobody cares.
Everybody cares.
I know.
Everyone loves Luca.
I hate
so
that
good.
he's over there. I always said about him, like, if he's on your team, you'll love the guy.
Yep.
If he's not on your team, he is the most hateable NBA player ever. Like you just
seems so damn cocky
him.
and the way he laughs at people.
The stare that he gave the Mavs bench when he drained that three was just like those if his stares could kill, those dudes would have been dead. All of them.
Yeah, if you're on the wrong side of this guy,
you just don't want to be on the wrong side. And the thing is, the other crap part of this is going to make LeBron play until he's 45 because he doesn't have to facilitate anymore.
Yeah,
it's.
It is nice that he can kind of just be like, "Hey, take it," and there's its own conspiracy right there. People say that when people join LeBron, they get worse, or their stats are worse. Won't. But yeah, I think LeBron is like pushing for him to be a leader, and I think that's going to be great because he knows it's going to give him time to chill and be on the bench and stuff like that. But dude, that just reminded me of when we went to the OKC Thunder game, and Luka. God, I don't even think he had a point until like the fourth. Like it was ridiculous.
And those dudes were giving such a hard time.
Drunk people all around us just arguing and fighting, and like, "Oh, there's your MVP, there's your MVP," and it was hilarious. It's like, God, Luka, you're like really shitting the bed right now.
Yeah.
And then now he's on the Lakers. I'm like, yeah, Luka.
Right. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it. But that's sports, man. I for about a half a second, I thought, man, I'm a Luka fan. I could be a Lakers fan, and then I was like, nope, can't do it. It doesn't matter who's over there.
Yeah.
Laundry wins out. I gotta be a Mav.
Good luck with that. You can have Anthony Davis and his little tummy troubles or whatever he's got going on.
Good old street clothes over there.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Got that Derrick Rose street suit on.
Always got his street clothes on.
Jesus. Go hit our socials. Go hit it. Give it a like. Give it a follow. Give it a share.
Get them up there, man.
All those things. We need to crank these numbers. Go check out the CCICT. Get that $15 off $50. Like
I said, we're making you money. Like it's easy. Go in there, get your phone fixed. Stop scraping up your fingers. Stop getting cuts on your finger because of that stupid
shaving off those fingertips.
Like stop having to have that freaking phone plugged in all the time. Go get that battery fixed.
That's how you start a fire. Be responsible.
Yeah, thing's gonna explode. Go get a new one. Check us out. Check the Patreon out. Check
Bake
the link
beans in his pants. It's only $6, and he will put beans in his pants. I'm telling you.
The link tree is linktr.ee/cartridge and quest. All the links are there. All the socials are there. You can see the TikTok videos there. You can see the YouTube videos there. All of it. Go there. Follow us. Share it. Let's go.
Baked beans.
Never. Till next time. Peace.